What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Shameless Watch Collector. Man, it feels good to be back doing an AliExpress brand guide, and I'm stoked you guys are enjoying these as much as I'm enjoying making them. And I wish I could say this was the finale, but honestly, it probably isn't. I'd bet on a part 4 at some point soon. But since this is part 3, you know the drill. 10 more brands, a bunch of new categories, and everything I mention is affiliate linked in the description below. The only real twist today is we're doing a watch giveaway for our 2,500 subscriber special. So stick around until the end for that. Right now though, it's time for part 3 of our AliExpress watch brand guide. Let's get into it. Our first category today, 2 of the most underrated brands on AliExpress. And first up is Hruodland. I almost feel guilty calling Hruodland underrated because the real issue is I don't talk about them nearly enough on this channel. And so many of their releases, especially lately, have been absolute stunners. Take the F022 for example, a gorgeous 32mm vintage style chronograph with that bamboo shaped case. You're getting 316L stainless steel, sapphire crystal, oil style lume on the hands, and it's only 10.3mm thick. And the movement choice here is a big part of why they pulled that off. It uses the Miyota 0S00 quartz chronograph movement. It's a Japanese-made, reliable chrono caliber that's known for being slim, low maintenance, and practical with a long battery life and a satisfying pusher feel. So in other words, it's exactly what you want for a vintage chronograph watch like this one. This watch is currently sitting around $175. Then you have the F028, which brings a similar vintage energy in a similar case, but with a round dial this time, giving off an old school automotive vibe. I love the typography Hruodland uses here too. And it's fun that this one shows up in a totally different dial style as well, with a different leather strap to boot. This one uses the ST1701 movement in a 39mm case with a 35mm dial opening. It's slightly cheaper than the F022 was, at $150. I talked about the F025 in a video that feels like forever ago now, but I still love that watch. I don't think there's a dive watch on AliExpress that nails vintage this well, especially the brown aged looking variant. That version is near the top of my wishlist right now. But I consider the F025 the landmark Hruodland piece. This is the watch I think of when I think of this brand. And that anchor logo absolutely slaps. It might be my favorite logo from a Chinese-based brand out there. Also, I haven't really even talked about their lume game yet, but expect strong lume layouts like this one across their entire lineup. And legit lume choices like the BGW9. This NH35 powered 41mm diver is also stupid good value. You can find it under $150 all day, and sometimes as low as $125. And finally, the newer F031 is an interesting direction for Hruodland. It leans a little more modern, while still keeping the brand's vintage identity. You're getting the PT5000 movement here, which helps keep the 40mm diver down to only 12.5mm thick. And that bubble sapphire crystal adds a ton of character. This is the priciest one of the bunch, like a lot of PT1000 powered watches to be fair, currently around $225. Overall, I love just about everything Hruodland does. They mix it up with the movement choices, case shapes, and even logos. But they keep that old school charm consistent, and somehow, they still feel underrated. Our next underrated brand is Heimdallr. I know some of you might think it's weird that I'm calling Heimdallr underrated, because yeah, they're basically the kings of the SKX style homages on AliExpress, but hear me out. I don't think enough people are paying attention to their recent releases. They've been adding some genuinely fun touches to the classics, and then doing some completely unhinged stuff on the side. Check out the HMSY01 and NH36A powered monster diver at 43.5mm wide and 13.4mm thick. You're getting the usual Heimdallr basics, 200 meters of water resistance, 316L steel everywhere, but the dial options are where it gets kinda crazy. The colored ones use abalone, which gives you that one-of-a-kind look. And if you're not feeling the color, there's a gold PVD option, which you honestly don't see very often on AliExpress. But my favorite? The full lume dial. Yup, the entire dial lights up. Is that necessary? No. Do I want it? Hell yeah. And speaking of dials, The V2 of the SK1 introduces some really clean snowflake style options in multiple colors. This is an even bigger diver at 45mm, and by the way, my small wrist friends, I'm sorry about this portion, you might just want to skip to the next brand. Heimdallr pretty much only makes monster divers. But on this one, along with the new dial choices, you're getting the NH36A and C3 Superlume. The SKX007 still leads the charge for Seiko-inspired K-shapes on AliExpress, with tons of great color options in that size and shape we all know and love. Both this and the SK01 I just showed you sit around $175. The HMSA 21 is another landmark Heimdallr piece, and they took advantage of their relationship with Chronos to refresh this one with that insane perlage dial on a 43mm dive watch. This is one of my favorite divers out there, and the value is still ridiculous at only $165. And finally, I had to show this off just because of how absurd it is, their tuna style diver. And some killer color combos, especially that black and gold. But here's the real punchline. 1,000 meters of water resistance. And yes, these maniacs actually tested it. These are the watches that make me feel stupid for loving dive watches and hating scuba diving. But seriously, don't take your eyes off of Heimdallr. They're not just coasting, they're still dropping great pieces. Alright, we gotta keep this consistent with parts 1 and 2. The third brand mentioned always gets roasted. So this category, predictably, a brand on AliExpress that I think is overrated. Sorry in advance. That brand is Steeldive. Why do people care about this brand? Everything they do kind of feels like a weaker version of someone else's homage, at least to me. Like here's the SD1984. Tell me this isn't just an uglier Heimdallr SK01. I don't feel like Steeldive has a single piece in their lineup that feels like it's truly theirs. Most respectable AliExpress brands have at least one watch that feels even slightly original. So if you can point me to the Steeldive watch that fits that description, let me know in the comments. Because all I'm seeing is minimal imagination, NH movements in basically everything, safe dial and case choices, and decent value, I'll give them that. But I constantly see Steeldive mentioned as a top AliExpress brand, and I just never understood it. They aren't bad, I just think I could show you 10 brands that do the same thing much better. Okay, moving on. I never enjoy being mean. That much. Our next category? A brand that's about to surprise everybody, and you're getting the inside scoop. And that brand is Cadisen. This is the part of the video that I think I'm most excited about, because I can almost guarantee 99% of you haven't seen this watch yet. Ever heard of the Cadisen TI7? A 40mm, 11.5 thick, titanium case watch, powered by the Miyota 8215. And look at this thing, absolute stunner. So this watch has been available on AliExpress for about a week. But Cadisen actually emailed me about it before it had been announced, about a month ago, and it genuinely surprised me. I've always been kind of neutral on Cadisen. I really like the C8-239, 42mm dive watch vintage style beauty that comes in some awesome colors and also uses the Miyota 8215 movement. And I think the updated version is even better, introducing some new and classy looking colors and a leather strap option. But stuff like their Moonswatch homage or those meteorite texture experiments never really did it for me. But their newer pieces started getting my attention. And then this email hit my inbox, and I immediately had way more confidence in the direction. This is exactly where Cadisen should go. Materials like titanium, and proven movements like the Miyota 8215 that are known for being durable, serviceable, and thin enough to make amazing cases like this possible. You're also finally getting sapphire crystal on a Cadisen piece, and they added AR coating, plus 100 meters of water resistance. And on top of that, I genuinely think this is the most attractive watch Cadisen has ever designed. And you're getting it for around $142. So the value is still there. Honestly, probably more than ever. If Cadisen stays on this path through 2026, I'm confident this is going to be their best year yet. Oh, and the blue one is on the way to the channel, and it should be here any day now. So yeah, an in-depth look is coming. let's keep it moving with our next category, brands that are intriguing me with their recent releases. And first up is Militado. Yeah, I'm a little surprised Militado is here too. I always thought of them as the straightforward field watch brand on ALIEXPRESS, and we've talked a lot about their staples like the ML05 and the ML08, both great value and beautiful field watches using the VH movements. But the recent releases are getting kinda weird, in a good way, but personally, I think if you took the logo off some of these, I'm not sure you'd guess they were a Militado. The ML23 is the most perplexing. I'm not mad at it. If you've watched this channel, you know I love this chronograph style, especially when it comes in those loud colors like the teal. And now we have Top Hill, Cadisen, Seakoss, and Militado doing this watch. Militado did add some fresh colorways, and they do look good, but I'm not sure the world needed a fourth version. I will say, the Militado 6S21 movement is a different choice, and that movement isn't on the other three, so they went different where they could. But still, this one confused me. And what's up with that Cadisen style logo? The ML20 is an interesting one too. Militado playing with dial texture on a diver, and leaning into some bolder colors than you usually see from them. They also stepped up the spec sheet to use the PT5000 automatic, a 316L sandblasted case, or PVD on the black, and the dimensions are genuinely impressive, 39mm wide and only 11.3 thick. And even with that more premium direction, the value is still there at only around $165. The ML16 reinforces that direction, but this time with the BH31 or Ronda quartz. You still get full PVD on the black option, bracelet included, and it lands at around $121. And we still have pieces like the ML1868, delivering that classic Militado energy. You have the VK61 Mecha Quartz, field watch styling, and that unbeatable pricing, around $89 for this piece. I'm really curious to see what direction Militado goes in 2026. They've earned my trust at this point, and almost everything they make lands. So this will be fun to watch. Our next intriguing brand is Tandorio. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm definitely a hypocrite for roasting Steeldive for having zero originality while not immediately dragging Tandorio for doing the same thing. Because yeah, nothing they do is original. Everything is a homage, and nothing is safe. Cadisen Dune style? Not safe. San Martin Burst? Not safe. The FXD? Of course not. The WM Ice Crack? I mean, they tried. Doxa? You already know the answer. But here's why they're intriguing me. They're at least willing to throw some interesting dial textures and patterns into the mix. Like this mother of pearl dial variant on the Doxa style case. If everyone's gonna do a Doxa style homage now, all I ask, bring something new to the table. And mother of pearl absolutely counts. It's gorgeous, and at around $80, hard to argue. And to be fair, Tandorio does make some really nice cases and bracelets in my experience. My Tandorio diver is generally one of my favorites I own, and when they nail a dial texture, it gets my attention fast. They also brought that mother of pearl over to a dress watch, and that is stunning. The white mother of pearl especially. You can get it with or without the Tandorio logo as well, which is really common for most of their pieces. There's the NH35 inside of this one, something that's also very common in just about all of their pieces. But at around $90, the value makes this brand weirdly irresistible sometimes. They also brought that burst style I talked about to a dive watch, and I think it looks great. Tons of colors, and just a really fun watch. But the real reason they made this list and this category, their 50 Fathoms Ghost Watch. I love this watch. To my knowledge, I think it's a homage to the Spinnaker Halloween special, which was one of my favorite pieces out there, but it's also borderline impossible to get your hands on. So instead of going with the wavy bezel concept that Spinnaker did this year, they did the 50 Phantoms that Spinnaker did the previous couple years, both of which I think are absolutely brilliant concepts. And the best part about this style? The ghosts have loom. Look at them go. I just love that. It's pointless, ridiculous, but I want it. And for once, it's not NH35 only. You can also get this one with the Militado 8215 or the PT5000. and it also has a sandblasted case. And it's still only around $80. How? This one feels like a particularly big release for Tandorio. It's still a homage, but it's a really unique one, if I'm right about what it's inspired by. But either way, it got me paying attention to them again. Keep your eye on them going forward, because I think this is a really fun direction to take homage watches. Let's move on to our next category, and this one's real simple. It's time to talk about some real OGs of Chinese watchmaking. And first up, of course, is Sea-Gull. We really do have Sea-Gull to thank for a huge chunk of what makes Chinese enthusiast watches even possible right now. Sea-Gull traces back to 1955, and they've been one of the most important movement manufacturers in China ever since. And they're more than just a brand, they're part of the backbone of Chinese mechanical watchmaking. And historically, they're tied to some major milestones, including the development of China's first aviation chronograph project in the early 1960s. The Natural series, powered by the ST-17, is still the best sand dune dial on ALIEXPRESS in my humble opinion. Unmatched depth, with a beautiful gradient that looks like it has actual layers to it. This also remains as one of their best value pieces. A premium 316L case and bracelet, sapphire crystal, and you can find it for just around $125. The new Ocean Series Professional finds a perfect mix of elegance and aggression with some really fun color options. It's a big one, 44mm wide and 13.5 thick, and it's powered by their ST-2130 movement with 28 joules. It has 200 meters of water resistance like any true diver should. The price is lower than a lot of Sea-Gull divers as well, only $250. You guys know I'm a sucker for the rolling panda. I talk about this watch all the time. That yin-yang vibe with the panda touches all over the watch. Such a fun piece. Still great value too, only $175 for this one. But if you want more color, the Rainbow Diver has you covered. 3 different dial colors, but rainbow indices all around regardless. Powered by the STS-140, which pushes the price higher on this piece to around $330. And finally, check out the Aircraft Carrier Diver. This one is just mean. It's another monster, 44mm, and it's powered by the ST-2500. It has that subtle but beautiful aircraft carrier design on the dial. They did a great job making this one feel tasteful instead of tacky, which is kind of what Sea-Gull does. Nobody weaves Chinese heritage into watch design better than they do. So thank you, Sea-Gull, for all you do, and I can't wait to see what you come up with this year. Another OG? Seakoss. Sort of. They kind of present themselves like an old legacy player, but in reality, Seakoss is a modern AliExpress label that lives in the 1963 ecosystem, selling a lot of Sea-Gull movement-based pieces, especially ST-19 powered chronographs. In enthusiast circles, they're generally viewed as a newer mushroom brand rather than a heritage manufacturer, and what they're definitely most known for is their 1963 style watches. So quick context, when people say 1963, they're usually talking about the design language inspired by China's original aviation chronograph project that we just talked about. The watch was developed for the Chinese Air Force in the early 1960s, often linked to Project 304. And the modern reissues use the hand-wound ST-19 column wheel chronograph family. That movement is a big reason these watches are so beloved. Column wheel chronographs are traditionally associated with higher-end chronographs, and the ST-19 lineage is part of why the 1963 genre became such a cult classic. And Seakoss offers that 1963 look in a million variations. Moon phase, chrono layouts, panda configurations, you name it, they got it. You can find 1963 style watches from a bunch of sellers, and the prices range wildly. We don't have time to unpack that whole mess today. Just know this, the Seakoss ones are solid for the price, and many are built around Sea-Gull movements. Where Seakoss gets more interesting to me is when they try to do something like their newer GMT piece. It uses the GMT complication in a way you don't see often, with the additional dial setup. It uses the Sea-Gull ST-2557, and it's priced weirdly low, around $70, which is kind of crazy when you also factor in the 316L steel they're using and the sapphire crystal on top of it. Another one that feels more in line with that Sea-Gull-ish design language is the S8442, a really nice blend of vintage and modern. Great color combos, and the case shape works beautifully. This is a 40mm diameter watch, and it's powered by the ST1612. And it's available for $132, another wildly low price. I would love to see Seakoss keep carving out an identity with pieces like these, instead of leaning so heavily on endless 1963 variations. Alright, last category, my friends. And you know I like to end these with a bang. And this one is brands delivering some of the best value on AliExpress. And first up is Parnsrpe. The name is terrible. I'm definitely still saying it wrong, but the watches are great and the value is undeniable. These guys do not get enough credit for delivering fun pieces, premium materials, and pricing that feels like a glitch sometimes. And they're starting to pack more personality into their watches, with stuff like fun second ticker hands and crazy dial designs. Their classic 45mm turtle diver with the green silicone strap feels like a staple of the brand at this point. And they keep introducing fun colors and even wilder designs like that wave dial and rainbow indices versions to this case style as well. It's also hard to believe that their NH36 powered diver with that gorgeous blue gradient dial lands under $100. It's actually currently just $83. This is a big one too, 45mm diameter case, but if you're wearing something with a dial that beautiful, I think it deserves that real estate. I also adore their shark diver. You guys know I'm a little weak to little Easter eggs in watches, and this one has a ton. You have the trident seconds hand, sharks swimming up the dial, the gradient texture that actually looks like water. This is exactly my kind of nonsense that I love. But if the shark thing isn't your vibe, they offer straight up options without it. You can also get this one with or without the logo if you prefer that cleaner look on the dial. Their rose gold dive watches are another highlight. You don't see enough cases like this on AliExpress, and Parnsrpe absolutely nailed the color pairings. And the value is still crazy, around $100, with the option to step up to the NH36 if you want day date as well. I also love their pink dive watch. You just don't see enough pink divers out there, to where that's a big reason why I added the pink bezel to my Addis dive piece. And the pink shade that Parnsrpe went with here is very nice. And finally, their samurai style piece is really cool. I like the dial style they went with. And this brand is known for the quality on their dive watches, bezels with no play, and premium materials like 316L. You don't often get stainless steel bracelets from them, which I'm sure is part of how they keep their prices so low. But I'm not mad about it, because they clearly know where to spend the money and where not to. So don't ignore this brand. They make some really fun pieces, and they're always priced right. Our last brand delivering amazing value, Milifortic. When it comes to vintage styling and value on AliExpress, Milifortic stands alone. The R088 Jumping Hour, a watch that made our top 10 AliExpress Watches of the Year list, is still one of the most charming and best value pieces out there. The Jumping Hour automatic complication, gorgeous styling, and it's sitting around $120 right now, oftentimes closer to $100. The R087 feels like a more modern touch while still staying unmistakably Milifortic. It definitely nods to the studio underdog, but it feels like its own thing. And again, value. This VH31 Sweep Seconds quartz piece is only $100. Their new pilot watch, the S110, is a perfect example of why people love this brand. Nothing too loud, nothing too try-hard, just beauty. This one's 39mm in diameter with a 316L stainless steel case and the NH38 movement inside. You can grab it in green or black for around $145. And the S089 calendar compass watch looks like it fell straight out of a time machine. The way they use gold accents on some of the variants makes it look so elegant. This is one where they went all in. 39.5mm case, only 11.4 thick, sapphire with AR coating, C3 lume, polished cathedral hands with lume, 316L case, the NH35 movement, and silver or gold markers. The green version they just dropped might be my favorite. That thing is a stunner. Everything just works on this watch, all for under $200. This is a hard one to resist. Milifortic is one of those brands that doesn't need to change a thing. Their direction is dialed in, their aesthetic is consistent and beautiful, and they're delivering some of the best value you'll find on AliExpress. So that does it for part 3 of the AliExpress brand guide. And before we talk about anything else, I won't waste your guys' time. Let's go ahead and roll that 2,500 subscribers watch giveaway footage. So this is just a random comment picker I used to decide these winners. Thank you to all who entered. And it looks like Sean Benson F7J is the winner, and the watch he chose is the Pagani Design 1638. Congrats, Sean, and email me at shamelesswatchcollector@gmail.com with your shipping information, and I will get this watch out to you. And I hope you love it. We will hold our next watch giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. It seems far away, but I can't believe how quick we got to 2,500, and I can't believe that while I'm recording this, the channel is already close to 3,200. I just cannot express how much I appreciate all the support, guys. It means so much to me. So next up, we'll do some brand guides for some other marketplaces before we get into part 4 of the ALIEXPRESS brand guide. But that's for the next video. So until then, Shameless Watch Collector, signing out. And always remember, it's not that serious.